Well, Dawson Michelle made a real impact in this event last year, defeating James Wade in the US Masters, and he's off to the perfect start this weekend, getting the better of DJ Sayer 6-3 and putting up some good numbers as well. 6 out of 7 doubles, one of the key statistics there, Chris.
Yeah, impressive game. Good game for anywhere. Never mind for, you know, what are basically novices playing on a big stage like they are. But yeah, very, very good numbers. Sport is so often about timing. The timing and some of them outs there for Dawson was incredible. Heartbreaking for DJ because he played so well. He was, the majority of the match was averaging over 100 and was at one point 10 points in front of Dawson in the averages. But that's the way the cookie crumbles.
But Alan, two ton plus finishes really sort of turned the screw for Dawson.
Yeah, very impressed by his performance there. Not just the finishing, but his body language as well. He never looked phased or stressed at any point through the match. Always looked in command. Obviously went 3-0 ahead, and DJ was pushing him all the way in them first 3 or 4 legs.
Another key moment here, sat on 32, and you could see in the background DJ go, oh, here we go.
When you're taking these big shots out, when your opponent's on the double, it really does hurt.
It seems that Dawson sort of saves his best or brings his best to this tournament, this party as such.
Yeah, some players are, it's quite strange. It sort of goes through a phase with a lot of players. They're great on the floor and never quite produce the goods in front of the TV cameras, and then you'll get some players that are absolutely blistering, very much like Dawson is in front of a TV camera, but not that great on the floor. I followed Dawson with a lot of interest after, you know, watching him last year in his big breakthrough. And he's been indifferent, to be fair. He
wants it. He really wants it. He's a young lad that's learning the game very quickly. You know, he's just got the Pro Tour card, so that'll take a couple of years to develop. But he just looks so comfortable on the big stage, and he really, really wants it. You can feel it.
Yeah, he certainly does. And I want to go further than he did in this event 12 months ago, because he got to the semi-final last year. He was beaten in the semi-final by last year's winner. We have got the first semi-finalists confirmed. John Norman Jr. will be taking on Dawson Michelle. That's coming up a little bit later on. But we do know our first semi-finalists, and you'd have to fancy probably Dawson in that on the back of what we've seen. Is that fair, Chris?
Yeah, absolutely. On the back of that performance and those numbers, you know, mid-90s average. It was over 9 legs, so it was not sort of particularly a short race. Yeah, and he'll take huge confidence from that, and he will push on, and he'll be a match for anybody. If he plays that well in the remainder of his matches today, there's only one winner, and there's only one player potentially that could compete with him at that level, and that's Jeff Smith.
Right, on to our third quarter-final. This pits 2 players who met in the qualifiers. Danny Lauby beat Joseph Huffman in qualifier 4 final yesterday. And both these players, guys, are making their sort of big stage debut. How will they be feeling walking on stage now?
A lot of nerves.
Yeah, they'll have a lot of nerves waiting to get up there, but now they're up there, they'll kind of calm themselves down. They're in the crowd, they'll just slowly bed themselves into it, and it's who really gets out of the blocks.
Well, let's find out who comes out on top. We'll take you back to the Mandalay Bay Hotel in Las Vegas.
Well, a fabulous game, second up here at the North American Darts Championship between DJ Sayer and Dawson Michelle. It is awesome Dawson who finds himself in the semi-finals. Going to have a look at the other half of the draw here, and it's a couple of Americans squaring off for a spot in the semis. Joe Huffman, nicknamed Boom, the 36-year-old who qualified for this on points over the 4 qualifying events held here at the Mandalay Bay over the last couple of days. And Danny Lauby, young man who's got a bit of heritage in this sport. His old man, Dan Lauby Sr., played all over the place. Played at the World Match Play, which we've got coming up in Blackpool. Played at the Lakeside. Played at the Circus Tavern as well. And 2 guys that you've run into a number of times, Darren.
Yeah, I played many games against both of these players. I know Danny from young age. He's a youth player here. He came through the youth system, youth national champion many years ago there. And Joe Huffman, I know for quite a while. Great players, really playing well this last year or 2. This could be a match that'll be up there with the last one, possibly.
Well, fingers crossed. You were just saying before we came on air that you fancy Joe might be considered one of the favourites to win the whole thing here today.
Yeah, for me, I mean, like I said, I know Joe's putting a lot of practice time in, and you know, he's hitting quite a few 9-darters, and you know, and you see his practice is paying off here. He had a good run over the last 2 days and find himself here on the main stage.
138.
Well, they're not going to hang around, these two. They stand and deliver on the off-key.
100.
Yeah, Dan Lauby's very, very fast. He gets up there. He doesn't mess around. He gets right to work.
100.
Dan Lauby, a music teacher by trade. Drums and guitars. Apparently he reckons particularly the drumming,
43.
the hand-eye coordination, he thinks is a bit of an asset when it comes to playing this game.
40.
Yeah, you'll find Danny off to the side sometimes at the events, just sitting there drumming away with, you know, just find himself in a little rhythm and try to get his head straight and get his head in the game. He's had some good results on our CDC tour here in the North America as well. So Joe hasn't played much of that, but he's played quite a few events with his work and stuff. But I think it doesn't give him a lot of time off to travel as much as he'd probably like to.
120.
Danny Lauby very nearly taking out the 140, but Huffman's given himself quite a bit to do here. One dart,
52.
and he's pulled it low, and after starting this leg so well, Huffman, it's all got a little bit messy.
Yeah, scoring left him a little bit there for the last couple throws.
12.
He'll get another shot at it.
20.
Long way inside on that one.
15.
Now, it's probably a little nervy for both of these guys. I don't think either one of them has been on a stage quite like this. So you got to understand that it's the first time for both of these guys at this stage of the game.
Yeah, that does make a difference, doesn't it, in terms of just the feeling of getting up there and playing in front of hundreds or thousands of people, knowing you're being broadcast around the world as well.
Yeah, I remember my first time up there, you know, was just white as a ghost, you know, and then I was lucky. I actually won my first television round many years ago, you know, but one of these gentlemen are going to win their first round on a TV match here, too, as well. So,
yeah, the winner will take on either Jeff Smith
60.
or Ross Snook. That'll be the last remaining quarter-final to come here.
Definitely a bit of nerves here on Joe's part. You just have to settle in. Both of these guys just have to settle down and do what they do best. They know they can play this game. They know what they're doing. You see good cover there from Dan Lauby Jr.
Yeah, Danny's been playing since he was 8 years old. His old man got him into it. He actually set up a board below the actual board they had on the wall at home, just with all the values of the doubles and trebles, so he could learn all the maths.
95.
Needs a treble here.
60. Danny requires 116.
Going the 20s route. Could have looked at 419s for tops, but decided to go on the 20s.
88. Jersey requires 108.
Good cover on the last one there. 108 for Joe. It's going to stay there.
38. Danny requires 28.
Double 14.
For
a 2-0 lead. Danny Lauby.
Game on.
Oh, we saw John Norman Jr. race off in our opening quarter-final and benefited from David Cameron just looking very, very nervous when it came to finishing off legs.
Yeah, Dave struggled with his finishing there in the first match. He had his opportunities, he didn't take him, and you know, that'll bite you. And I lost yesterday to Dave Cameron. He didn't miss too many of those when I played against him.
Well, these two did meet in the qualifiers as well, and Danny Lauby won it in the final of the last one. So it would have been late last night. Won it 4-3, 15 darter to hold his throw in the last leg. So, I mean, that takes some nerve with such a prize on the line as well.
Yeah, the guys that were saying that earlier, how familiar this is. The last match these two guys played was against each other in the final of the fourth qualifier, so how ironic for that to work out that way.
98.
Yeah, we've got a couple of matchups where these guys have run into each other over the last couple of days here at the Mandalay Bay.
76.
Just getting a little bit frustrated, Lauby, but he's in a fantastic position.
He's definitely ahead here.
92.
He's got the better set-up shot from here.
$58.
Another one of those would be nice.
62. Danny requires
That last dart
128.
really hurts Huffman.
$56. Joseph requires 119.
Joe would have been thinking he's coming to the board looking at 100 here, but it's 119, and that means it has to be treble 20 and double top, which he can't produce, and this might be 3-0.
99.
Saving
Danny
grace
requires 72.
is there have been a few darts missed at doubles so far. Great dart. Fantastic finish from Danny Lauby. 3-0.
Yeah, good 2-dart 72 there. That was clinical.
$100.
Yeah, Joe down 3-0 here. He needs to come up with something, or this might be over with quickly.
140.
With the CDC now having pretty much a dozen events over the course of the year, is that a key factor in just driving up the standards of North American darts?
I think it is. Repetition is what everybody needs to improve. As you see with the PDC, they have events. Seems like almost every weekend. And hopefully we get to the point where we have more events as well. But for right now, I mean, we have the 10 events that we have, the finals, the mid-season classic, and the standard that we have going in that with the likes of DJ Sayre and Dan Lauby Jr. and it produces some great darts, and I think that's what help these young men get up there and putting up numbers like you saw DJ averaging, I believe 96 or 97 like that in a losing effort to Dawson. 50% checkout, 97 average, whatever it is. That's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, it really is. He was averaging 107 at one point, found himself 4-1 down ridiculously.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
Should look at a single 15 here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
135.
That's a good setup here, but Dan on 105, the way he's playing here, this is a pretty easy opportunity to get a dart at double. He's not going to do it. So you feel Joe has to take this 40 out to stay in this match.
40.
There it is.
Well, first leg on the board, and that should settle him down.
Yeah, both of these guys are not playing up to their abilities average-wise, I guess. I've seen them both play well over 100 averages on many, many occasions. So, it's just a matter of nerves, I believe, for these two guys. That settle in there a little bit
47.
and should start seeing some improvement. But this is such a quick format. You're only going to get, maybe 8, 10, 11 at the most. So.
Yeah, well, we've seen from Huffman, he didn't win any of the qualifying events, but he did make the final of 2 of them. And he beat the likes of David Cameron, Gary Mawson, Ken McNeil along the way. We saw averages of 97 and 95. So we know he's got the game, and he's produced it here over the last couple of days. But right now, on stage, in the biggest game that he's faced so far this week, it's not quite happening for him. But there is time for this to turn.
Yeah, just needs to put it together. He's only 3-1 down. There's a lot of game to go here. Just needs to settle in, start finding that triple, and and change this game around in a hurry if he can get hot.
$100. Danny require 110.
Well, he's left himself a bogey number there, Huffman. So Lauby's got a couple of visits to see this off and reassert that 3-leg advantage.
92.
Evidently a fan of the double 18, Danny Lauby.
Yeah, he seems to like that. He hit it, last 2 games ago there with the 72.
95. Danny Require 18.
But this is the problem with the double 18. It leaves you that 9, which can be an issue, but not at all for Danny Lauby 4-1.
Yeah, not there it was, and he hit that fairly easily, and you know, he's 4-1 up on cruise control here.
41.
What kind of reaction was there amongst the players here in North America when the announcement was made about the World Championship with the extra places available?
Well, when they come out with the announcement that the CDC was going to get 2 spots, and obviously this had another spot, so that gives us 3 North Americans in the World Championships, which is fantastic for darts here. You know, I think the people that were in the CDC, guys like myself and a couple others that are in the position to reap the harvest off of those spots, were happy. And some of the guys were probably not real happy, wishing that they would have been entered and played the events to have an opportunity to get into them. So it's probably a mixed reaction depending on who you ask that question to. But for the most part, you know, going forward, you know, if those spots remain in the future years, I think you're really going to see darts improve in North America alone just to chase those spots and get those opportunities and maybe get over there.
Can he find the treble? He can. Double top. And that is a beauty from Danny Lauby. He's a leg away.
Game on.
I guess that's it. In terms of driving up the standards of American darts, you've got to do it from two aspects, haven't you? You've got the sort of top down in offering that carrot of getting to the World Championship, but also to install the tour that we've got here and try and make it more professional from the bottom up as well.
Yeah, exactly, and that's exactly what the CDC does. I mean, it is a professional tour, and you know, I played in the PDC tours, and they characterize it just right off of that, you know. So you know, it's got the good guys in the right place running the events, and there's only one way, and that's up with that tour. You know, with the young guys like Dan Lauby Jr. in it, you know, it's definitely a big stepping stone for some of these young players, you know, in the U.S. and Canada.
And you feel that Danny Lauby has just grown into this game over the last couple of legs. Granted, Huffman hasn't done enough to knock him out of his stride, but even when he did get that first leg on the board,
63.
and he just bounced back, won the next leg at a canter, 120 checkout following that, and racing away in what may be the final leg of this match.
Yeah, they started off there. They were averaging in the low 70s. You see Danny's climbing up to almost 90 average now, 50% checkout. He seemed the one that settled in a little bit better than Joe. You know, I was rooting for both of these guys to play really well. Obviously, you know, as Danny has picked it up a little bit, but you know, Joe's just not getting over that nervous edge a little bit, which is feel bad for Joe because he's such a nice guy. I know he expected a lot more out of him. But you know, maybe he could turn it around here with a big finish.
It would have been a spectacular one. But Lauby should get a dart for the match, possibly a couple. Treble 18. Well, double 16 then.
62. Jesse Require 64.
To stay alive.
Got it. You could almost see the air come out of him there and a big sigh of relief.
Game on.
Keep himself in this match. It's a long way to go, but I've seen stranger things happen.
Yes, we have seen comebacks from seemingly nowhere. Seen it in World Series events where even the best player in the world, Michael Van Gogh, went 5-0 up and lost 6-5 to Warren Parry. Can happen.
I wonder what the odds on that were.
140.
Long, Darren.
Pretty long, yeah. His face back there was just kind of almost
97.
just disgusted, you know, and obviously he's, you know, not happy with the way he's playing, but he has to get over that and forget about it and, you know, put your back against the wall as he's doing right now. This is the way to go with it. Beautiful shot, 177 there to set him up with a 130. That's a great shot. Maybe that'll get him going here.
Well,
56.
things might be changing here in Vegas.
Lauby on a bogey finish there, so he has 6 darts for the 130 to make it 5-3.
Could look at 25 for tops, may look at treble 11. No,
90.
That will do nicely.
$94. Jersey number 40.
Tops then. And
And
5-1 has become 5-3.
I think it's Danny to throw first.
You know, and Joe's starting to play a little bit better. They're both settling in a little bit here, and you know, this could turn into a pretty good game.
60.
Well,
Not a great start for Dan
44.
or Joe.
well, Darren said at the start of this that Joe Huffman has been playing very, very well lately. He didn't show it in the first
41.
5 or 6 legs of this game. But if he starts to show it now and continues to do it over the next 3 legs, we could have a major turnaround here.
60.
You know, and like you pointed out, you know, Joe, he has produced the goods over the last couple of days. Making 2 of 4 finals in this field of players is it's pretty amazing, to be honest. And
60.
you know, unlucky to win both, to lose both of them, from what I understand. So you know he can play. You know he has the darts, and here he's shown it again right here.
135.
And it did go the distance between these two in the qualifiers, went all the way to a 7th and deciding leg.
You know, and on Danny's part, he's like, I just need one more leg. I just need to fall over the finish line here. And sometimes that's what'll bite you. You have to stay aggressive and stay strong and not think
49.
about it, and just, you know what you're supposed to do when you're up there playing darts, and get on with it.
100.
Well, he is down to a finish first in this leg. But this could be a much more makeable finish for Huffman.
99. Danny 144.
It's not going to go, and a 1-1-4 checkout was key in that Dawson-Merschel game with DJ Sayer earlier on. A 1-1-4 here
100.
could
Jersey
flip this game on its head. 1 treble required. He's got it. Double top. It's a game changer.
Great finish there from Joe Huffman, and get himself back at 5-4 here. And you know, when he has the darts here, he could push this to a deciding leg. These guys are finishing well. 50% for Joe Huffman on finishes, 45% Dan Lauby. That's respectable finishing numbers there.
And particularly after Huffman missed, what, his first 3 darts at double.
100.
3 or 4. Yeah, he's been, I don't know, I think he's hit the last 4 in a row, I believe.
Yeah, I think he has. Finishes of 40, 64, 40 and 114. All pinned first dart. It was magnificent finishing from Dawson-Merschel that got him over the line against DJ Sayer. Only missed 1 dart at double in the entire
92.
game. As we saw last year, Willow Bruyere, it was his finishing that took him to the title. He was more than 50% for the entire tournament. Stunning stuff from Willie J.
Yeah, it's a shame they couldn't make it here this year to defend his title.
137.
You know, I know he had some family stuff to stay home for, and I understand that, and hope everything's okay with Willie and the family, and hopefully we see him back here next year.
Yeah, he was immensely popular here last year, and indeed at Ali Pali, where he made his debut.
Good stuff here from Dan. Another triple, set him up nicely, and he does.
140.
So he'll be back for 32 for the match.
Yeah, a bit of aggression from Danny Lauby. I think he may have been on the verge of panicking watching Huffman come back at him like this.
55.
But that's not enough to leave a finish, so handfuls of darts for Danny Lauby, and he only needs the 1. Racing off into a 4-1 lead, holding off a fight back, and Danny Lauby is into the semi-finals. He will take on either Ross Snook or Jeff Smith for a spot in the final of the North American Darts Championship.